The Bahamas in danger. Rising sea levels threaten a tropical paradise. The Bahamas is an archipelago made up of over 700 islands, 30 of which are inhabited, and more than 2,000 small islets. These islands are part of the Lucayan archipelago, named after the indigenous Lucayan people, an offshoot of the Taino people who lived in the Caribbean region. The name Bahamas comes from the Taino term Bahama, meaning large upper middle land, or from the later Spanish term Bahamar, meaning shallow sea, which refers to the shallow waters surrounding the islands. The Bahamas is especially vulnerable to sea level rise for several reasons. First, many of the islands have a low elevation, with the highest point, Mount Alvernia, sitting just 64 meters above sea level. Most of the islands are only a few meters above sea level. Secondly, the islands are mainly made up of limestone, an extremely permeable and porous geological material. This allows the salt water to infiltrate and be absorbed like a sponge. Therefore, in addition to coastal flooding caused by sea level rise, the islands are also at risk of being flooded from underground due to the permeability of the limestone. Additionally, the Bahamas has a significant population density along the coasts, with 83% of the population living in urban areas and 75% residing on the island of New Providence, where the capital Nassau is located. According to a report by Climate Central on the threat of rising sea levels in the Caribbean, the Bahamas face the greatest proportional threat, with 32% of their land and 25% of the population located within 0.5 meters above sea level. The Bahamas is projected to experience a sea level rise of 32 km by 2050 and 82 km by 2000. In addition to sea level rise, the Bahamas is also at risk from hurricanes and tropical storms, as it is located at the northern end of the Atlantic Hurricane Alley. Importantly, sea level rise and extreme weather events can have serious consequences for the Bahamas. In September 2019, Category 5 Hurricane Dorian struck the islands of Abaco and Grand Bahama, causing significant damage and devastating communities. The hurricane caused an estimated $3.4 billion in damage, and Bahamian Prime Minister Hubert Minnis described the situation as one of the largest national crises in the country's history. The impacts of sea level rise are a global concern and require concerted action to mitigate climate change and adapt to its effects.